Hello, buddy. Today is Tuesday, 8th of February 2022. And, well, it's a hot day in Bangkok, so it seems like the hot season has arrived very early, actually. But hey, it's all good, part of the cycles of nature. And I really wanted to make this video today. Every time I want to make the video, but today was very special because of what happened last night. I was in. I after finishing the recording, I went to meditate, and usually that takes me a full hour. So when I went to bed right next to you, it was over midnight, and I was lying down. I just couldn't fall asleep immediately, and I saw you. You like mommy sleeps on one. We change and now the three of us sleep in one bed, but we have still the other king size right next to it just in case. So you were in the middle, and I was on one of the sides, and the light was coming from behind where I was. So I could see you, but you could see very little of me because it would be mostly dark. And you were sleeping, and suddenly you woke up. You went on your knees and you stayed there, just awake. I guess you were half asleep, but you were just there, just looking at the room, just very calm, very tranquil, making no noise, not trying to get any attention from mommy or from me. And I found it really interesting that you can be in the middle of the night in a pretty much completely dark room or very dark room, and yet you could be completely peaceful without needing no attention from any of us. You stayed like that for easily 5 minutes. Then you looked at mommy and you saw she was completely asleep. Then you looked at me and I pretended to be asleep because if you know that I'm there and I'm awake, then you will wake up and you will want to play, and it will be hours before you go back to sleep, and that's a killer for mommy. So I have to pretend not to be awake when those things happen. So I was there and just looking at you, and you were looking at me, but I even like squinted my eyes to make sure that you couldn't see. But again, the light was coming from my back, so it would have been very difficult for you to notice that my eyes were not fully closed. And you just stared at me for a while. But then I guess you kind of perceived somehow that I was looking at you because you very carefully touched my face to make sure that my eyes were closed. So of course I closed them when I realized what you were doing. And then you kept just staring at me for a long while, if you think that it's like 1 a.m. or 12:45 or something around that. Then you chose to caress me, just to touch my arm, really soft and really nicely. Then you stayed there for at least 10-15 minutes, the whole thing. You tried calling mommy's attention like, just once. You saw there was no response from her. And my arm was like this. So you came really close to you actually made yourself, you cuddled yourself, like made yourself into a little ball, and you kind of put your head here, which is very unusual. Again, I think all babies, but for sure you don't like a lot of physical contact. You like to be let on your own, to let alone, like just leave me alone kind of thing. So I was very touched because it was out of your own volition. There was no me trying to like keep you close to me, which I barely ever do. But there was nothing on me that was causing such a behavior from you. You stayed there probably 5 more minutes, and then you kept like just looking up, right? And again, going in, you went into like lying on your tummy, and You kept like going from here to here to here to here until you finally put your face right on my hand. And you stayed there probably 25, 30 minutes. I could tell that you were not asleep because even your eyes were closed. I could feel that you were sometimes like doing like closing your lids, the lids of your eyes more, right? Like this reflect of like closing eyes. And but you were you just used my hand as a pillow. I can't start explaining how beautiful that was for me. Just that you chose to do it in the middle of the night just to be close to daddy, just to feel comfortable or safe, or I don't know. It was just absolutely beautiful. And that's the reason why I chose to make a video today, regardless time or regardless whether I'm tired or not. It was just too good to live it one more day and lose the feeling of it. It was just a magical moment for daddy. and then you change position at the end, like, but this was at least like 45 minutes, probably to a whole hour, like the whole episode, which is quite a lot. And then you went to sleep, and that's it. So it was super nice night for me. Then we woke up. Well, you guys woke, like mommy and you woke up earlier than me. Not by much, but then I also do my morning meditation, which takes pretty much an hour. And then we went to buy some groceries. I always take you, and I forgot bringing the ball. But I took a couple of pictures of the machine, so probably I'll put them in the video. And this is a cow, right? And this cow is, well, this machine is one of those things that I do have a recording tomorrow for my crypto channel. Anyway, so this is the kind of machine that you put, it has a couple of slots, right? So you put the coins in them, like 2 coins of 10 baht, and then you roll it, right? And you get something. We always go to the cow that has balls, the balls, the bouncing balls, because all the others just can give you any crap, but at least we know these ones are balls and you love them. So, but the cool thing is this is the first time that at your first try, you're able to put those coins on the slots. Like one of them is kind of easy, well, but not until very recently that has become kind of easy for you. But the second one is on the left side. You either take your right hand and you do like this, which is quite difficult, or you do what you did. I just helped you to understand that you could do the same with your left hand, the same that you do with your right hand, and you and the coin slid properly, and you got a nice first red and black ball, and then we did it again, an orange ball. And normally when we do that, we go to the middle of this kind of like local shopping center, quite nice, and you just throw the ball, and I run after it, and there was this sign of love, right? It's like the LOVE in the letters are like they are there. It's not printed, but they are the actual letters on 3D, right? And you were just like throwing the ball between the O, right, with the space that makes the O, and I was just going and picking it up and bringing it back to you. So those times I enjoy very much. It's just beautiful. Then we came home and it was time for you to sleep, and it was very eventful, to say the least. I don't know what's going on, but I think partially is that you already have all your teeth and most of your molars, but you lack the fangs. So they're coming out, and your gums are all bloody. I mean, it's a really scary thing to see, because I can only imagine the pain of your gums being opened from from the inside, right? That's one. And then probably everything is pushing, right? Like fangs are in the middle of the teeth and the molars. So they probably are opening your jaw. So you're very uncomfortable. So that may be partially a problem. But also you are entering a very different stage in your life. And I can tell this is something that I've seen twice in you. Once it happened around a month ago, and today again, that without saying a word, without any event triggering you, you were quiet. And when I look at you, you were quietly crying, just tears, right? But without sobbing, without anything, without trying to catch mommy's attention or my attention. So I can tell that you emotionally are developing, and I wish I could help. I wish I could do something about it, but I don't know. I just don't know what you feel. Obviously, it must be something close to sadness. But what is triggering it, other than you maturing and you, like understanding that you are one entity, other than everything else, right? That probably is that what is triggering you. So you are having a problem, and I saw that, and well, it's not a problem. It's just it's happening, right? Then you're not at peace. Let's say, like we try to take you to bed to sleep, your nap, right? And you were like, no, no, and then you're not throwing tantrums because you're not trying to get anything, but you're just like, suddenly you just start like crying and being very emotional without any particular reason we can observe, at least. And the same happened at night. My mommy told me that you were like really, really, really emotional, and it was just extremely difficult to get you to sleep. And you just went out of the room where mommy was trying to get you to sleep, and she just found you like just like, like a starfish looking down, like with tummy down, right, and just crying. And then mommy tried to talk to you, and you went into your little tippy. You have a tippy, like, and you went inside there to cry more. So definitely part of it is what is happening in your gums and your mouth, but another part is definitely you developing I don't know, more self-awareness. This is something that we usually don't think about, but separation, it's a big thing. The when we are born, we don't know that we are not everything, or that everything is not us. There's probably not much of a division between us and anything else. We don't have the concept of something other than myself. So I'm just guessing that could be probably the case, right? And that we, as human beings, we have this very strong emotional fingerprint of pain, right? When we see the separation between us and everything, between at a very inner, very, very intrinsic level, the separation between the divine and us, like you were part of the unmanifested, and then you're manifested, but you don't really know much about it. You're not conscious about it. And then you become aware that you are like being ejected somehow, or you were ejected from divinity, of oneness, of, like God, right? So we all spirits feel this sense, we have this sense of abandonment, this sense of isolation or separation, and probably that's what you're going through. So we just try to be supportive with you. We're not going to be like, what's wrong, what's happening, right? Because that only will make you feel that there's something wrong with you when there is not. It's just part of the evolution of becoming an adult, right? A functional adult of sorts. So we do that. We try just to stay close to you, to let you know that even you're feeling whatever and you're, behaving in a way that it's stressful for everyone, especially for you. We are there for you. So no pity, no condescending actions or words, just being close to you, so you know that we are with you. Like it's going to pass. You will be okay. So that's how we are handling it. Tomorrow I have a recording, as I just said, right? We are recording a very big project from the Avalanche network, which I don't know if it's going to exist by the time that you watch these videos, but it's a big thing. It's a big blockchain, and it's being really successful the last year. I wish that it could have bugged their token at the beginning of last year. We would be millionaires, but not by now. But hey, I actually I bugged it when it was really really cheap, but I sold it. I bugged it doing futures, so I bugged it and I sold it like, I don't know, 20, 30 times. Had I known, I would have kept it the first time without futures, and we would have made a lot of money. But, well, that's what I'm trying to do this year with different tokens. Blockchain stuff, I don't know if this is going to make any sense when you are watching these videos, but hey, I'm just keeping you informed. Then, what else? Well, that's about it, because I mean, the nighttime was beautiful. Then the daytime we did what I told you, right? But then I had to go and set some things for my crypto channel. Then went to the restaurant, and all good. So I come back, and of course you're asleep. Thank God you're asleep, because it's late, and that's about it. And today I wanted to talk about technology. I was doing some thinking about it. And, lately there's a big problem with big tech companies that I guess they're not going to be around as we know them by the time that you reach adulthood, even early adulthood, because the world is moving so fast. And these companies they don't know, but what they're doing is very dangerous, because they are playing a game of censorship with us, with the U.S. government, and this is going to backfire. And now they're trying to cancel. We are living in a canceling culture, where if some people, some minorities, but they are very powerful. They are not minorities in the sense that we used to understand them as the the weakest of society. They have become very strong ideologically. They're just extreme radicals, and they're trying to cancel this podcast guy. I don't know if podcast will be something either, but look it up wherever web search we have, search engine we have, and they're trying to cancel this man called Joe Rogan, only because he invited a couple of different scientists, extremely renowned scientists, extremely accomplished scientists, recognized as the cream of the cream of science. And they say that everything that it's happening right now with the disease I told you about, that we supposedly are facing for the last 2 years, is wrong, and it's mostly untrue. And this man is followed by 12 million people, which is a lot of people, and he's changing minds, because honestly, you don't have to be Joe Rogan, or you don't have to be any scientist to see that they are not saying all the truth. Because if you follow this story from the media and the CDC and all these different people, what they have been saying, from the beginning, they themselves have corrected themselves and said, oh, well, no, it's not true. Actually, no, this also was incorrect. So everything that was pointed out in this podcast from this guy is something, it are things that the governments themselves and the agencies, the governmental agencies themselves, are recognizing as true every day, because they cannot, there's something, kiddo, that you have to understand. If you lie, the lie will not last. truth always lasts. Truth always shines at the end, maybe at the very bloody end, after a really dark time. But the truth always comes out. Okay, so it's coming out, and this guy is definitely unintentionally being a catalyzer. And this guy, actually, I like him. He's very smart. He's funny. He's very open to ideas. But this is a funny thing. They are portraying him as a radical, when the reason I stopped listening to him was because he never took sides. And if I'm going to follow someone, if I'm going to give my trust to someone, if I'm going to give my attention to someone, that someone, to me, has to align to what is best, to what is truth. And he always was too much in the middle for my liking. So now they're trying to portray him as a radical that he never was. And they may end up making him a real radical with a lot of people that are following him. So this is what I was thinking about technology, right? Like, if our society is so polarized today, it's in a big part because technology has outgrown us. Technology has developed so fast, at interpreting. They have the capacity of collect facts, interpret them in their own way, and distribute these interpretations massively. Right? So this has happened in only in very few decades, right? And they're benefiting from. Ooh, my blue light is white now. Anyway, so they're benefiting from people being accustomed, like developing or evolving too slowly. So they still believe that, like when 100 years ago, when the movies started, it was like, whoa, I'm looking at God, right? You saw these images of people that were like 4 meters or 5 meters tall. This actually impacted the human mind, because up until that moment, people were of the same size, right? And now we were looking at the stars, Hollywood stars, that were presented in these huge screens, right? And suddenly they were idealized, made idols out of these people, right? So and then TV came, and then a culture of like loving famous people and not and just believing they just idols. They're not people to the average person. They are special. They are better than others. There's this sensation, this belief that they are better than others, that they are truer than others. So, and then the tech came with internet and all these things, and suddenly the capacity of dominating the narrative, their narrative, spread it. And with that mindset that I just spoke about, of when you look at people on the big screen or on TV, they're better than you, they're trustworthy, they are nicer, they're more beautiful, they're richer, everything, all these things that just wait on us. So the technology became so strong, so spread out, so in control, while the minds of the average person didn't outgrow that sense of awe, that immediate belief, and that immediate, like, oh, this guy's telling me the truth because he's on TV. So technology developed massively while the human brain didn't. End of the day, let me see if I can fix this blue light. For now. I don't know how long it will last. The thing is, so the average person didn't have the time to to realize that in order to keep the pulse, a conscious awareness of the pulse of what is really going on in the world, it was not developed. The average person doesn't have, unfortunately, the capacity to step back and understand that it is not that the truth is everywhere, but it's the tech controlling a narrative, what makes it look like we all agree on something. So it's very dangerous, extremely dangerous. And that's why I want to put in you an extreme rational mind, not extreme, but a rational mind, a mind and also an empirical mind, because I need you to be able to gather information from many different resources and believe no one except your own experience, accept your own conclusions. You may be wrong, for sure, but it's only going to last so much until you realize that what you think, what you believe, what the decision, the conclusion you came to was wrong, because you are going to apply this knowledge or this conclusion. Well, it's going to become a body of knowledge for you, because these are going to be the ideas that you base your life and your decisions on, right? So if you apply something that is mistaken enough times, you will see that the result is skewed, is wrong. Something is happening. So you will have to revise your own thoughts, your own ideas. This is something that we are not prepared to do today. We are in a world where we think we are our ideas, and therefore we don't want to change our ideas because we don't want to change ourselves. We don't want to question our ideas because we don't want to question ourselves. You see the danger? But when you arrive to your own conclusions after your own research and your own experiments, then you arrive to an idea that you're going to put in practice, and that practice is going to throw a result. And if the result is not what you want, then you will have to go and revise your information, your deductions, how you got to a certain idea, and how you're implementing those ideas. This is the beauty of empirical knowledge. This is the beauty of trusting yourself. This is the beauty of having a true love for truth. That's why it's so important to have access to information and to be able to have the courage to go and find more than one source, the one that you like, but also the one that you dislike, and understand what's behind, the reasoning behind both. Who wins what? What is it for others? What is in for others? What do they gain by you believing this, by them pushing an idea on you? What do you get out of it? This is the kind of thinking that will lead some people to survive this craziness. At this moment, we are living in a world of ideologies that you subscribe yourself to a set of ideas without thinking them, without analyzing them, without understanding whether they're even good or bad for you, whether they are valid or not, whether they are falsehoods or truths. And they're just like just not dying for them, killing for them. That's another thing. Now people are killing at least socially, right? Canceling. That's what canceling is, just like killing people in this way, like getting them kicked out of their platforms, for example, right? So they cannot reach their public. And it's happening. It's been happening a lot in the last 3-4 years. or even longer, but the last few years have been really, really bad at this, right? So even me talking about this, hopefully no one will watch this video, right? But if people watch these videos, they may actually get them down just because I'm telling you what I'm telling you. So of course I'm backing up all these videos to put them in a different platform or just to buy my own server. I'll have to do something to make sure that these videos don't get lost because they're for you, right? But people don't care about that. People don't care that this is a video for you, and I'm not trying to influence anyone. But they will probably think, oh, Clau is a racist, and he's a macho, and he's a chauvinist pig, and he's blah 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 blah. Because the way I speak is very free. Most people today are all about political correctness. I hate it. I hate this concept of political correctness since my schools in university days. That's like long ago. But I started realizing, like, what is this PC bullshit? Like, so now I cannot say words just because people are going to get offended. And where's the intention? The intention means nothing. It's only the word. It's not the context. It's not the intention. I call my best friends the worst words, and they'd call me back the same. What's the problem? I'm a Mexican, so we say, "Oh, fuck your mother," like we're like best friends. That's how we talk. But at least in Mexico, as crazy as we are, people know if you say that in a good way, it's friendly. If it's in a bad way, they they shoot you, right? But at least there's enough brains there to like, oh, okay, of course this guy's being nice. I mean, nice telling me to do that, yeah, but it's all friendly and cool, or it's even a joke, and that's okay. So that's what I was thinking today about technology, about how it outgrew the creators, and how the average person today just doesn't have what it takes to understand that they're being played. I'm not saying I'm smarter than anyone, but luckily I'm a rebel. Like I just can't stand the easy answer. Every time, buddy, you get an easy answer from someone, an all-encompassing answer, an answer that you shouldn't question because supposedly it's the right one, and therefore you need to just, believe it at face value. That's an incorrect answer. That's an answer that it's benefiting everyone except you. So make your own knowledge, your own body of truth, your own experience. I cannot tell you how many times I've been so disappointed after knowing that things that everyone holds as absolute truths, including myself, are complete lies. And especially in the fields that should be the most honest, the purest, those ones. Health, all spiritual knowledge, kids. You can tell, and I will show you when you have the right age, for example, that food companies, they make food for people, adults, and sometimes they make food for children. I mean, the same. Supposedly, it's like cheese for children, for example. I remember this one. They have the proper cheese that they sell to people, and then they have the little cheese with a nice cartoon or something. You know what is funny, buddy? Most of those foods are not made with the proper ingredients, but just with replacements of the worst kind, like the cheese. The cheese that they made for adults, it has cheese, it has it has water, milk, right? The other ones, they have palm oil, they have all kind of stuff that is super cheap, but they sell it as better for kids. How can anyone allow that? You're feeding crap to kids and you're actually advertising it as better for kids, when in fact, you're lowering your cost of product 95%. And they know it. Of course, companies know it. Of course, governments know it. Everyone knows it. Who says something? No one. The medical establishment is based on falsehood after falsehood, starting by convincing people, pharmaceutical companies, same, that the body cannot heal itself. Today, even mommy, when I met mommy, she was surprised when I told her, when she asked me, what do you do when you're sick? I'm like, well, I am barely ever sick. But if I am, nothing. What do you mean? You don't take medicine? No. What for? Because otherwise, how do you get your health back? Well, because my body's working on it. I just need to give it time, right? The right food, the right rest, the right time, and off I am. I'm perfectly fine. And she just couldn't believe it. And she saw me like once or twice, like I ate the wrong thing in Mexico. And I was like vomiting all night, right? It's not a disease. I was just responding to certain food that was not the best for my body. And I didn't take any medication of any kind. And the next day I was absolutely fine. I didn't even think about it. I didn't go to a hospital. I did nothing. If she ever saw me having a headache, what did I do? Nothing. After the massive fall I told you that I had, and I was in excruciating pain to say the least, what did I take? Nothing. When the doctor said, oh, you know, your neck is wrong. It's all bad because of the fall. It was not just my neck. I mean, I went to hospital 3 days later. I did because it had such a bad pain inside that I actually thought that I had. I was concerned that I could have an internal bleeding. So I checked, and no, but I had my lungs about to collapse because of the impact. But would I put myself in the hands of an orthopedic doctor? Never. You have no idea the things I have seen and I have heard from orthopedic doctors. One of them suggested to make my toes shorter, not to have a problem with my shoes. Just listen to what I'm saying. He wanted to take like what would be the index of the toes, right? And he wanted to cut segments of the bone and join them together, so those two toes wouldn't hit the front of and the upper part of the shoe. Why was he doing that? Because it was good for me? No, because it was money for a surgery. Did he understand why that was happening? Not at all. Not at all. I can tell you, right? That's why I created my own movement protocol, to get myself off all the pain that I had that no doctor could resolve. They were like, oh, I don't know. Same with my sinus and my tonsillitis. Chronic, always sick. What did they say? Oh, well, you have to learn with it. You have to live with it. You have to learn to live with it. It's you're weak. That's your weakness since you are born. Oh, okay. Then I go, I research, I change my life. Screen is out again. And guess what? Within 6 months, I healed myself. 6 months. Only 6 months. When doctors got me to do all kind of tests, studies, vaccines, everything. Nothing helped. 6 months myself, I do it. The same for my body. But it took me 8 years. But doctors didn't know what to do. Period. So that's it, buddy. It's a long reflection, a lot of beautiful things, and I'll keep you updated on your emotional reactions. I love you and I learn every day about you. And I thank God for having you. Simple. You are the best thing that has ever happened in my life. I love you. Have a beautiful day, my son.